Australia produces tons of delicious fruit, vegetables and nuts every year, but getting these products to a high standard doesn't happen by accident. Most of the times it happens with a bit of help from these guys right here. Hi, I'm Katja, and I'm looking at how we can help pollinators to improve the quality and production of Australian crops, like apples. Pollinators are animals like bees that perform a very important job. They move pollen between different plants to help create seeds and fruit. 75% of crops rely on pollination, and that represents a whopping 30% of what we eat. That means that without pollinators, we wouldn't have the variety of foods that we have today. And those foods provide us with a lot of the nutrients we need. But while no pollination means no apples, not enough pollination can also create a crooked apple that no one wants to buy. So to keep our crops happy, we need to make sure there are always plenty of pollinators around. But that can be tricky for crops like apples, because the trees only flower for a brief period of time, whereas the bees need food year-round. That means we need to provide a healthy environment for this year's apple pollinators, so they can produce new bees that will pollinate next year's apples. And that's where native plants come in. Native plants can be a great addition to an orchard or farm, because they don't require much upkeep and they produce lots of flowers that provide plenty of healthy nectar and pollen for the bees. So with that in mind, we decided to work out which plants work best. Over the last few years, we've been taking a closer look at the quality of pollination and the density of pollinators in areas with native vegetation. We've been keeping an eye on the quality of apples, and we also look at which plants the bees get their pollen from. So far, we found that particular plants do best during different periods of the year, and they really help in improving bee density. During and after apple flowering, native bees are a really important food source for apple pollinators. Hakea and grevillea are also important, while in summer, eucalypts and plants like sweet bersaria or Christmas bush are a great source of food for bees. And that means that in the right environment, apple growers could rely on wild bees and native plants to improve the quality of their crop year after year. From here, we plan to produce planting guides for growers of apples and pears, so they know what plants they should use around their orchards. We also hope to create a web-based tool that will allow growers to estimate the benefits of planting food for pollinators in different scenarios. So thanks to these native plants, we're giving these tiny pollinators the helping hand they need, and we will reap the benefits.